All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Here's chapter 9 of the Used Car Manager's Ultimate Playbook. All right, so we're in section 3 now, and it's sales process and accountability. You can't go over used cars and not go over sales process and accountability. And so this is going to be a really good chapter so that you guys understand what it means to go after it, right? And so why it matters. Leads aren't the problem. They never really are. I mean, I guess one could argue about, SpyFi leads, but, follow-up and process are usually the problem. Execution beats traffic. So let's get right into it. Why this matters. You can spend 10 grand a month on ads, but if your team can't convert leads into appointments, you're just renting traffic. Marketing brings attention, process brings profit. This chapter isn't about scripts, it's about rhythm, accountability, and closing the gap between interested and in the store. Rule number 1, you don't have a lead problem, you have a follow-up problem. So next section is the 3 lanes of opportunity. And you should be, instead of doing an all-in close ratio, you should know what your internet close ratio, what your phone up close ratio is, and your walk-in close ratio is. You need to know by every median. And I think most people forget that, look at your traffic year over year. If you don't know how many leads you had last year compared to this year in either one of those categories, then you're missing the real opportunities. Is your marketing on point? If your traffic is down year over year, you've got a problem. You should look into it and figure out what's going on. What's the big difference? On internet close ratio, you need to know what's going on, right? Slow response, weak management, typical conversions is 8 to 12%. The best stores I've seen, run at about 20% close ratio. Phone ups, 25 to 35% close ratio. The best stay at 30, 35%. Walk-in, 40% has always been the benchmark, but 35 to 45%. Are they skipping steps, lazy TO? Are they pushing them to payment? And the same thing on phone. Is there poor qualification, no TO, no follow-up? Your job is to raise each of these close ratios by 5%. That's the difference between good and great. Rule number 2, every 5% improvement in conversion equals roughly 15 to 20 extra sales per month. That's a big deal. So know your numbers. That's if I had to say anything, know your numbers. Next step, internet speed wins. Respond under 15 minutes. Fast response equals more appointments. And speed kills or saves the deal. If your team takes more than 15 minutes to respond, you've already lost 80% of buyers to another dealer. And reality is, with AI and different tools nowadays, you should be responding within 10 seconds of getting that opportunity. Step 1, response speed, 5 minutes or less, best in class. 15 minutes or less, acceptable, not really. Over 30 minutes, the lead is dead. First contact, keep it human. Forget templates that sound robotic. The opener should always sound like this. Hey, Chris, I saw your inquiry come through on the 2015 Camry. Great choice. That one just hit the lot. Are mornings or afternoons easier if you want to see it? And get right into it. That's it. No paragraphs, no pressure. The 2-touch rule, step 3. If they don't respond to your email, follow up with a call and text within 10 minutes. Most stores only make 1 attempt. Winners hit all 3 channels fast. So rule number 3, the first 15 minutes determine the next 15 days. First contact approach, keep it simple, keep it human, ask for time preference. The 2-touch rule, email, then call, then text, hit all channels quickly. Super important. And then the phone, control the conversation, acknowledge and qualify, lock in specific appointment times. And the best approach that I've always found is setting up an appointment like a tee time. So, if you ever play golf, they set appointment times at odd times, like come in at 7:16 or come in at 2:11. When you do these types of numbers, people actually show up. Phone TOs, manage your voice, boost show rate. It adds confidence and weight. Make sure that you get those phone TOs as well. Here's it comes down to the phone strategy. The phone is the single highest ROI channel in the dealership and the most abused. Everyone thinks they're good on the phone, but most salespeople are just order takers. Here's the framework that actually converts. Step 1, acknowledge and bridge. Hey, Chris, I just saw that you were looking at the Camry. Are you just starting to compare, or are you ready to see in person? We're trying to identify intent immediately. Step 2, qualify fast, find out. Trade, budget range, payment, target, timeline to purchase. Keep it conversational, not scripted interrogation. And step 3, lock the appointment. Always go for specific times, not whenever. I've got 2:15 or a 4:30 or 4:33. Which works better for you? People commit to specifics. Transfer early. If a manager's available, TO the call before it ends, even for 30 seconds. Manager voice adds weight and raises appointments show rate by 20 to 30%. So rule number 4, you don't close over the phone, you close on the calendar. So here's your walk-in strategy. Meet and greet, needs assessment, walk around, test drive, TO. That's been around for 100 years, if not longer. Walk-ins are where lazy habits hide. Salespeople think, I got this one, and that's when shortcuts start. Your job as a manager is to protect the process. Meet and greet, eye contact, handshake, confidence, get name and reason for visit. Needs assessment, ask discovery questions before running to the key track. Walk around. Every customer, every car, this builds value and separates pros from order takers. Test drives, non-negotiables. Cars don't sell themselves sitting still. And then TO, every customer gets a turnover, even if they're just looking. That's how you hold gross and close more walk-ins without discounting. So rule number 5, process sells more than personality ever will. You got to understand, you only have a finite amount of opportunities, whether it be internet, phone, or walk-in. You know exactly how many opportunities you're going to get every month if you've been doing this for a while. So quit acting like you have unlimited at-bats. You have a finite amount of bats. Make sure that every one of those bats, you have an opportunity to make a home run. You're not just here to just, go through the motions. You're going to go through the process and execute and win. So test drive equals a non-negotiable. Cars sell when they move, skip it, and lose gross. And here's the math of missed sales. Small increases add big gains, more conversions without more leads. The math of missed opportunities. Let's use your baseline store, 100 used units a month. Say you generate 800 leads, which would be a lot for a 100-car store, but we're just doing hypotheticals here. 800 internet leads, 300 phone calls, 200 walk-ins. That's 1,300 total appointments. If you raise your close rate by 5% on each channel, internet current close rate say it's 10%, phone is 25, walk-ins 40. If you raise it 5%, so then you get a target of 15, 30, and 45. 5% on internet gets you another 40 units. Phone, that's another 15. Walk-in, that's another 10. That's 65 more cars per month, same ad budget, just tighter process. 65 cars at 3,500 PVR, that's $227,000 additional gross per month. Then you annualize that. What's that times 12? At 30% net to gross, that's 68 grand more net per month. So rule number 6, you don't need more leads, you need more follow through. Make sure you're executing. In football, if you say, hey, look, I need you as a quarterback, you say, I need you to be slant left, that's the play, I need you to be there. You should expect your team to be there. So the key weekly metrics, response time, appointment rate, show rate, walk-in close rate, all your close rates you need to be on top of. So you need to be under 15 minutes, then that's giving you plenty of grace, but reality is you should be under a minute. Appointment rate should be 40%, so appointment to lead should be 40%. Show rate should be 65 to 70%. The best stores are 80 to 90%, depending on their confirmation process. Phone conversations, you need to be at 30%. Walk-in close ratio, you need to be at 45%, 40 to 45%. And then TO, you need to be at 90% TOs. If you hit those benchmarks, your store is operating like a high-performing machine. So rule number 7, what you track improves, what you ignore decays. This is the step that needs to be done every day, every month. Manager accountability, daily coaching. Daily coaching doesn't mean every week, it means daily coaching. CRM checks, pop up the CRM when you're desking a deal, pull up what they're doing your one-on-ones, pull it up, and follow-up inspections. Look at what the leads that they're currently working on. What did they do last week? How long did they follow up with them? The previous month? How many times? When did they give up? And it'll tell a different story. So you don't fix conversion by yelling, make more calls. You fix it by coaching the right behavior daily. In the morning, 15-minute call review. Pick one good, one bad, re-listen as a team. Focus on tone and timing, not script. Midday, check CRM for uncontacted leads. Spot check missed appointments and ensure reschedules. And your end of day, walk the floor for unsold customers. Ensure every walk-in got a TO and log entry. You've got to make sure you're holding your managers accountable and your sales team. When managers coach like this daily, your conversion rate becomes predictable. So rule number 8, accountability isn't about punishment, it's about presence. The follow-up multiplier, this is my favorite one. Most buyers respond after 6 to 8 touches. Stay relevant with value-based updates. And here's the key. Your salespeople, 92% of them give up after the 3rd attempt, but most buyers respond after 6 to 8 touches. So you've got to make sure you're pushing this. This is how you increase that close ratio 5%. Most salespeople quit after 2 to 3 attempts. The average buyer responds between the 6th and 8th follow-up. That's why your CRM should have a 14-day minimum sequence for every unsold lead. Phone, text, and email touches alternating daily. Pro tip, never say just checking in. Instead, use value-driven lines. Hey, Chris, just a heads up, that Camry we talked about got a price update. Quick note, we had similar model trade-in yesterday. Want me to send you the details? Quick, informational, and timely. That's how you stay relevant without sounding like a telemarketer. So rule number 9, persistence only feels pushy when there's no value behind it. So make sure you have your checklist daily, review response time report by rep, spot check 3 calls per tone, not script, confirm every TO logged in the CRM, weekly track appointment show rate, compare lead source ROI, internet, phone, walk-in, review lost lead notes, look for missed TOs or weak follow-up, monthly, calculate total close rate improvement per channel, tie bonus structure to appointment and TO metrics, retrain on phone and text technique for lowest performer. These are the things you have to do every day, weekly, and monthly. So the bottom line, leads don't lie, salespeople let them, process keeps them alive. Traffic doesn't close deals, execution does. The stores that dominate their markets aren't the ones buying more leads, they're the ones who respond fast, speak human, follow up relentlessly, and close everyone in front of them. You already have enough opportunities to hit record numbers. They're just sitting in your CRM waiting for someone to act like a pro. So final rule, leads don't lie, salespeople let them. The day your team treats every lead, call, and walk in like it's their paycheck, because it is, you'll never complain about traffic again.